In the world of the 20th century, there were wars, poverty, plagues, and human rights issues, especially the low social status of women. In 1840, the Order of the Sisters of Providence from France founded St. Mary of the Woods, Indiana, in the United States. For a long time, they have been concerned about women's issues and women's education, child care, and medical service. In 1920, accepting the request of Bishop Tacconi, who was serving in Kaifeng, the sisters came to China to educate women, care for orphans and children, and assist in the work of the mission. Mother Mary Cleophas, the head of the Sisters of Providence at that time, told the assembled sisters who had volunteered to go to China, "Those who go need never expect to return here, except on their way to heaven they may pass through St. Mary's. That would be all right. Prepare your heart. It is all sacrifice." In 1920, the greatest period of unrest in China's modern history, Mother Marie Grazia arrived in Honan Province, China, with 5 other sisters. Although she knew there would be difficulties in communication due to the language and culture gaps, the situation was far beyond her imagination. Not only did the sisters die by smallpox, plane crashes, and poisoning, but during the Japanese-American War, all the American sisters there were put under house arrest and even imprisoned in a concentration camp for 4 years. Confronting the civil war of the warlords, the Sino-Japanese War, lack of resources, threats to life, and other disasters, the Sisters of Providence still kept their faith in God, overcoming the tests from God and fulfilling their mission. Besides establishing the Huamei Elementary and High School, Qingyi Girls High School, St. Michael's School, and Xinjiang Fuyi Girls Middle School, the sisters started a medical clinic, which helped to save many people. Meanwhile, during wartime, the sisters also went to this train station to provide care for the wounded soldiers transported there day and night by train, so that the wounded had proper medical care. And the schools were temporarily opened as refugee shelters. The American flag was raised at the gate to protect the people inside from military invasion. To lessen the difficulty of language communication, in 1930, Mother Marie Grazia established the Order of Missionary Sisters, allowing Chinese nuns to help meet the pressing needs for education, medical care, and missionary work. During the outbreak of the Civil War between Kuomintang and the Communist forces, considering the continuity of the work in Chinese regions and the future development of the missionary sisters, Mother Marie Grazia, with the Sisters of Providence, embarked on the long journey to Taiwan. At that time, Taiwan's economy was beginning to recover, and due to the rapid development of international trade, the arrival of the sisters coincided with a high demand for English. So the Catholic English School came into being. Later, due to the rapid increase in the number of students and the consideration of students' future educational opportunities, Providence Women's English College was formally registered in 1956, and it later developed into today's Providence University. While the Sisters of Providence were busy running the school, they also helped to teach the children of the American Military Advisory and Assistance Corps. Meanwhile, the Missionary Sisters of Providence began to continuously open eye clinics, Taichung's children's welfare stations, nursery schools, and kindergartens. In 1967, they founded the Chongguang Girls Junior and Senior Middle School. In 1967, the Sisters of Providence opened a novitiate, which was moved later to Taishan in 1972. It served to cultivate the young sisters and to share Catholic faith through providing living accommodations for women. Later on, as Taiwan gradually moved toward being a society with a majority of senior citizens, in 2003, Sister Delan Ma decisively shifted toward serving at the Miracle Home, an elderly care institution. Sister Joan McCarthy went to Changhua in 1983 to assist in the education of disabled children, and later to Kaohsiung and Tainan to train teachers to teach basic life skills to children with moderate to severe intellectual disabilities. In 1987, she received an invitation to open a school for disabled children in Yijing, Tainan. Then the St. Teresa Opportunity Center was formally established. In 2003, due to a request from the Tainan Diocese, took over the operation of the Lu Wei Opportunity Center, which was to help disabled children with early intervention and vocational training for their future lives. In 2006, she further assisted in the operation of the Huaimin Opportunity Center in Penghu. During the reform and opening up period in China, English teachers were also in demand, and Sister Donna Marie Fu was invited to teach college English courses in mainland China, cultivating students there for more than 20 years. Pioneering in English education, cultivating professional talent, and women's equal rights, counseling for physical and mental health, providing moral education, medical services, care for young children, education for the disabled, Catholic pastoral care in prisons, indigenous community services, care for the elderly, and much more. For hundreds of years, the sisters of different generations, even though they have experienced various difficulties, diseases, and political turmoil, have still worked hard to overcome difficulties. They have never stopped their work. Their service has again demonstrated their trust in God and their unwavering faith. The selfless dedication of the sisters has not only led the Chinese into the world and cultivated countless outstanding talents with charity to contribute to this society, but also provided important support and care for the disadvantaged, for physically and mentally disabled people and their families, and for the elderly. Whether in China, Taiwan, or other places in Asia, whoever has received the sisters' love can gain a foothold around the world and contribute to all mankind because of the sisters. Looking back on the past 100 years, the sisters always see their responsibilities in the trends of the times and then bravely carry them forward. The future Sisters of Providence will continue to uphold their trust in God and spread the spirit of love, compassion, and justice to every corner of the world. Living at different times, in different countries, we all have our own suffering. It is the same whether we are in the East or the West. Fortunately, the love of God is always with us.